Welcome to the Inner Princess Foxhunt guide to the beautiful new course made in collaboration with Meow Wolf. Keeping in theme with this art project, these are all picture-based clues, so some of them can be quite hard to interpret. Fortunately though, this is one of the shorter fox hunts with just 10 clues to get through, so let us begin with the first at hole number 1. So on our first picture we have this mouth opening and then a bridge leading over towards this kind of dotted patch. So if we take ourselves to the mini map, we can see a mouth opening over by hole number 8. We turn to our left, there it is, and of course the bridge leads over towards this patch on that hole, and so the clue we're expecting is between the two. Next up we have these circles in a kind of curved shape, and you may recognize those as the lily pads. They can be found out in the opening on hole number 4, and we're expecting the clue to be on a corner. So as we start heading down, there is this curve here where it bends off to the right, and down underneath it is the next clue. Okay, for number 3 we have a mixture of shapes. We've got some squares, some circles, some pentagons, and you may recognize this as the big central structure inside Numina. So if we take ourselves to the very top of it at hole number 10, and almost immediately when we look inside, there is our next clue. This one was one of the harder ones for me to find. Don't get too distracted by all these kind of branches leading out and the portal. Instead, look at those dots in the middle, right next to where the clue is. Those dots are actually the representation of the rocks that are found in the middle of hole 6. So those stones, those rocks there, that block the pathway over, at the base of those, as we'd expect, is the clue. Okay, for this one we've got a two-parter. The key thing to identify here are these coloured shapes, and they are the cube-type blocks that we see on the ceiling of hole number 15. So when we take ourselves there, we can see up high we have these blocks, and so we're looking for this two-parter, one above and one below. So for the one above, we're going to turn right and make our way up this curved path. And when we get up to the top, we just need to maneuver around this branch, and there is the clue. So the next one now is going to be underneath, and the easier way to get to this is to go back to the map and see that underneath hole 15 we have hole 17. And when we teleport there, look out towards the flag, and straight beyond it is the clue. Okay, this is one of the hardest ones for me to find. I was looking all around for a kind of patch on the wall that looked like this face. Actually, it was far simpler. There is a creature that looks just like this on the course. Not the best looking thing in the world, but hey, I'm sure he's got a good sense of humour. Anyway, we can find this by going to hole number 10, and then as we look outwards, there is that unfortunate looking chap, and just at the end of these extending kind of tentacle type things, there is the clue. Okay, now we have two portals, and between it the clue. So these portals are a key part of one of the holes, and if you've played it, it's one of the most kind of iconic mechanics in the course. Over by hole 13, there's the sleeping creature. You may know that this is the hole that changes the size of the ball, and there is this chute from one portal to the next that the ball comes down, so you can teleport over there, but I'm just going to fly to save time, and there in the middle is the huge clue. Okay, now we have a 5-parter. We have these portals and then these red strings of plants extending outwards, and the clue we're expecting to see on the end of them. So you can see these red strings, and if you follow the course around carefully, you can see all the portals that they come from. But to help you navigate, I'm going to do this by hole. So starting with the lowest, at hole number 3, just at the start of the hole, just as you come out of this opening, there is the first one. So for the second one, we're going to take ourselves to hole number 8. And again, just as you teleport, almost immediately there, by the mouth, there is the red string and there is the clue. For the next one, we're going to take ourselves to hole number 10. And as we look back down past this pretty chap, down here we can see the red string, and there is our third clue. So 2 more to find. This one we're going to find over by hole number 13. There is the sleeping lady, and just to her right, we have another string that ends here. And finally, for the 5th one, we will find this over by hole number 17. We can see that creature playing with his reflection in the distance, and just to his left behind him, there is the final clue. So nearly there now. We are looking for clue number 9, and we have this shape with lots of dots in it. I was again scouring the walls trying to find this, and then suddenly it occurred to me that this was the familiar pattern from the start of the course, which is where this kind of imitation of the shack is seen. Kind of the whole environment getting it almost right but slightly wrong. It knows we're looking for something, but it thinks it's a lost ball. And so there in the tray is the final clue, and there is a picture of the club. So that is the end of the Meow Wolf Fox Hunt. We now see the Meow Wolf themed club. We've got obviously plants, we've got the main shaft of the putter looks a bit like the main structure of Numina, and of course we've got some branches extending out. If we give this a try, as is tradition on, let's say, hole number 2, we can see how the end of it looks too. So we have this almost creature, almost plant-like thing on the end. Give it a check, see if it works. Completely unedited, obviously. And there we go. So thanks again for watching. I hope you found this video helpful. I really do hope you're enjoying this course. It is visually spectacular and really quite fun to explore. Please do like the video if you have found it helpful. Drop me a comment down below if you've got anything to say about the Fox Hunt or the course. And of course, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Thanks again for watching, and I look forward to seeing you out on the course.